Welcome to RV Rendezvous, where we invite you behind the scenes of our journey as a couple navigating the twists and turns of life while running our RV dealership, one adventure at a time.
One adventure at a time.
Wow, that was good.
It was good.
So today's topic, the first topic, should I be looking at the camera?
Don't matter. Just do what you want to do.
Okay.
I'll talk to you. I'll talk to the camera.
So today's topic, COVID-built trailers.
Ah, yes. COVID-built trailers. The stigma.
So let me just preface this by saying we've seen a lot of Facebook posts, articles on the stigma behind COVID-built trailers. I'll read you the title of one. RV techs calling newly made RVs COVID trailers, manufactured fast with little or no inspection.
It's not wrong. The stigma of COVID-built trailers is that don't buy anything that was built during COVID. And our dealership, we sold hundreds and hundreds of new COVID-built trailers and had very minimal come back. And one of the things that people don't realize is that whether pre-COVID or post-COVID, the dealers selling these units built by these manufacturers have to inspect them and find issues that were missed or done wrong on the factory line. So was there more issues during COVID in the manufacturing process? I would say yes, just based on what we experienced, and other dealers that we talked to, they also would have said the same thing. But getting a COVID-built trailer that's full of issues is essentially a result of a poor inspection by the selling dealer.
But I think that I don't know if we can gauge it so much because we didn't bring new trailers in until COVID. So we didn't see the trailers before. It's
true, but dealing in used trailers prior to that, you could typically see how they were put together. The manufacturing defects, they existed before. Like new trailers had issues long before COVID. But if the dealer who's selling them and servicing them for the end user isn't taking that seriously and making sure that when it leaves, it's absolutely as best as possible, it's going to be a problem because they're not putting that time and effort in. And one of the things that happened during COVID was this spike in sales and the high times. Everyone's flying. It's a great time. You know, how fast can we turn these trailers? How fast can we turn a buck? And there are dealers that would have turned a blind eye to, let's see how fast we can keep turning. And that's just kind of a result of seeing a huge spike in sales you're not used to. So cut a corner here, cut a corner there, and those like manufacturing defects that were more prevalent during COVID just get missed, overlooked, just ignored because you're making money. It's like, let's turn them. And the consumer ends up with the trailer that didn't get a proper pre-delivery inspection, and they end up chasing problems. And now the volume of sales goes up, the amount of service work needs to go up, and you're trying to get into your selling dealer to get work done, or you're asking other dealers to see if they can service you.
It seems like there's a lot of people commenting about these COVID trailers, but from our experience, I feel like we haven't seen many of them. Like, I think I can remember one that went out, had a PDI, and then the poor customer had a lot of problems, which we fixed.
Yeah.
But I just felt like he kept coming back. It was almost like he just had bad luck with that trailer. But that was one out of over
hundreds of trailers.
So I don't see what they're saying. When, like, for example, I'll read you this post. Trailers are slapped together and 2022 models are particularly bad. Dealers have them sitting in the lots and they aren't selling. The 2024 models are soon to arrive, and my advice is if you buy a trailer, go over it with a fine-tooth comb. Yes, they are new, but sitting out in the weather for a couple of years without moving ages them prematurely.
Well, and again, that's not a false statement that's sitting out and not being inspected. That again is a fall on the selling dealer's shoulders. So with us, obviously we're inspecting the units as they are sitting because we know that they do have to get checked. You want to make sure the seals are good. But yes, if a dealer takes a unit, jams it into a storage yard and leaves it uninspected, untouched for 2 years, like they get it in July of 2021 and it sits until July of 2023 and someone buys it, it hasn't been looked at, most likely could have problems. During that period when trailers were had more small issues, little defects during COVID. If a unit came in and was so bad that it was going to just be a nightmare for the end user, we as dealers have we can refuse delivery of a unit. We did that with one of our units. We had a new floor plan came in. It was one of the first ones built. It came in and I immediately saw the back bedroom slide out was crooked. I could see it from my office. It pulled in on the truck. I just looked at it and said, oh, come on. And went out. It was July 4th. And the driver said, I can't get a hold of anyone at the factory. So we put an email in, a phone call to our rep, and it was set up immediately that we are not taking delivery of this unit. And because there was no amount of fixing we would do that would make that trailer right. We could try, but the way it was built was incorrect, and it would require the slide out removed, all the framing of the slide out changed, and that's not something that we should be doing in our shop on a brand new manufactured unit. Got sent back, wasn't going to be a problem for one of our consumers. And that is what every dealer should do. During COVID, so these COVID built trailers, we couldn't get product, and there were some dealers that were desperate to make sure they could get that unit and get it to sell it, and then we'll deal with it later. That mentality is why people believe there is the COVID built trailers, because you hear about those.
Some dealerships don't care.
Well,
I don't want to speak for them and say they don't care, but their actions make it seem like they don't care.
It's during that period with how the quick rise in sales and profits go up for dealerships, they start making poor decisions. It's easy too, because you're doing so much volume. You're just, okay, let's keep turning, keep turning.
So what would you just say to someone who, for example, we have some 2022s on our lot.
Yep.
At great prices, and then we've also got some 2024s coming in. If someone's looking at them both and they're saying, okay.
Well, you put them side by side on a piece of paper, the only difference is really the number. Like if you took two of the same floor plan, same model, same everything. The 2022 at this time right now in the market, you're going to get at or below dealer cost. If you're at our place, that's just our philosophy for clearance. If you want to buy the 2-year newer unit, you're paying retail dollars on that, and they are at good prices right now, but they will essentially get the same service. It doesn't matter 22 or 24. They will have the inspection on the seals. If they need resealed, they'll be done, and that's what should be done, whether it's with us or any dealer. They should be inspected because it's now 2-year-old sealant on there, and it should be fresh when it leaves. It should. Like that's not a question of if it should be done. It's just it should be done.
So are we doing it?
Yeah. It's a 140-point inspection on every unit that goes through. So if they're sitting, they get checked, they get redone. So I'd say the COVID built trailer thing is hard because you read the comments and there's weight behind it, but it isn't just a fact that every trailer built.
No, and I think you also have to go and read reviews on the dealership you're buying from.
Yeah.
And see. Not just, oh, I had a great sales experience, but what's their service experience like? Because they can do a full PDI and, the smallest thing gets missed or something jiggles loose in transit and it's warranty covered. And then you go back to your dealership and they don't book you in, or they take months to book you in, or you can't get them on the phone. And I think as busy as we are, we do our best to accommodate everyone as quickly as we can, make a judgment call on what's high priority in terms of emergent issues.
Yes.
Versus,
maybe like trip interruption type issues.
Yeah, like maybe this can wait until end of my next trip because it's really just cosmetic, or it's really just,
adjustments and things. Yeah, yeah.
But I think if you're, regardless of buying a 22, you don't really know, like you're putting your trust in the dealership, not really in the manufacturer.
Correct, because the manufacturer is going to build it, and they're built by hand, and they will have, you might get a perfect trailer, and then the next 10 have, certain small issues because one person in that production line was off or wasn't having a good day on production, and it can happen in anything, in cars, and
It's funny because I feel like sometimes people come at us like we're the ones who build the trailers,
yes,
and then they get mad that the trailer is having issues for whatever reason,
of course,
even when we're trying to make it right.
Yeah, there's no pleasing everybody, and that's in any industry, in any service industry. But one of the biggest things in investing in a camper Doesn't matter whether it's a $10,000 used trailer or a $150,000 new fifth wheel. It's that knowing that I don't even like saying if an issue arises, because I mean, realistically, in something driving down the road, if your cars have issues, everything eventually has an issue.
At home.
Yeah, so when an issue arises, how is the selling dealer going to handle it? That is what that's the difference. That's where you branch off, because anybody can sell something. Anybody tomorrow could be
Except for me.
Yeah, you hate selling stuff.
I hate selling.
I know. It's not in your blood.
No, I'm not a sales.
You like to show.
I like to do the tours, but I'm not a sales
No.
person.
Selling is just, you either enjoy doing it and guiding people through that process. I mean, Carolyn is number one.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's better than me.
I don't even know if she has to try. She's just a great person.
Yeah.
And that echoes into her work.
Yeah. I mean, so just to kind of finalize on the COVID stuff, you'll read a lot about it online. People immediately go steer clear, stay away. A lightly used or like a 1-year-old, like if someone's selling a used 2022 privately or whatever, don't just run away from it, because if it's a good deal and everybody online gets super negative about stuff and they just start echo chambering, oh, I heard all about this, I heard all about this, from like a dealer's mouth. If the trailer's been through the ringer and it's been dealer serviced by a reputable dealer, any of the majority of the issues should have been taken care of, and you can always ask the private individual for their service history, so you can get a feel for it. If they say, oh, we never really had it back to the dealer, that could be a little red flag, because they might have had issues that they just kind of ignored, or they're not ones to care about service, or they didn't use it enough to find the stuff. Those could be red flags. But there's no reason to run away from a 21, a 22, I mean even a 23, because they're technically COVID built. I mean, when did COVID actually end? I don't know. When would you say? When was the start? So start was March.
COVID is still going. I got COVID last month.
Yeah, no, we've had it 5 times?
I mean, speaking about buying a trailer privately, what recommendations would you have for somebody who is looking and they want to buy privately, or they have their mindset on buying privately? What are some things you would tell them to be wary about? What are some things that you think? I guess the pros and cons of buying privately.
Okay, so buying privately, buying privately, you can always, you'll typically, not always, you will find good deals privately. The problem is everything that goes behind that, okay? If they purchased it and they have a loan against it and they're not upfront about that, and you pay them, you take the unit, they don't pay the loan off. Technically, once they stop paying their bill, that trailer can be repossessed out of your possession. Doesn't matter that you paid them. The bank has interest. They are first interest. Every time they will repossess it from your driveway, and you have no recourse. So a lien search is 100% needed, done on any private purchase, whether it's a motorhome, a trailer, a cargo trailer, an ATV, anything. You can do that on the Service Ontario website with the VIN number. If there is a lien registered, get the information from them. If you still would like to purchase the unit, don't pay them. Go with them either to the bank, find out the exact amount of the lien payout, see that it is paid off in person, because you give them the money and they say, oh, I'm going to pay it. Doesn't happen. I've been burnt by not doing this process. And it's a hard thing to follow up and deal with. So that's the number one thing. Number two would be inspecting the unit, either by yourself, go check it out. If you know someone who's got experience, go check it out with them. This is just from my years of buying stuff, is if you walk in a trailer and there's like fresh sprayed Febreze or like some scent or a candle lit, it is a red flag, big red flag. If there's lots of carpets laid down in strategic places, or like garbage baskets around the slide out, moldings to kind of hide that water's been there. There's a lot of little tactics, because people might want to sell you their problems. And I'm not saying everyone is, but
or if the flooring doesn't match.
If you've got, like if you've had, you've got laminate in the kitchen, but it's linoleum in the back, ask questions. Why was this done? Oh, the linoleum split. That's not really a big deal because the linoleum can split in the cold. So just if something seems off, investigate and ask questions. Don't breeze over the trailer. Oh, I really love the layout. It looks great. And then you get home and find those major, you know, earth-shattering issues like a rotten slide-out floor, or the roof's leaked in the front termination strips. It's a big investment, even if you're getting a good deal privately, and it's heartbreaking to get home and feel that. It's a sinking feeling, and nobody wants to feel like they got had. But in a private situation, buying from somebody in their driveway, there's no recourse. They don't. If you can call them,
they just block you or ghost you when you're done.
Block, ghost, or just say it was an as-is purchase. Bill of sale says as is. So, not saying everybody's like that, but it can happen, and there are a number of. So the term is called a curbsider or a reseller who will buy trailers, not transfer them out of the original person's name, and then they will sell them as private sale, or selling for my insert name, my sister, my aunt, my uncle, anyone's name. So if you're buying a trailer, be sure that the ownership is in the person's name who you're buying it from. Because if you're doing that, there's a whole other plethora of things. They're reselling this thing after purchasing it from someone, not paying taxes on it. And there are several number of people who do that as a way of making a living. Marketplace, Kijiji, you see them post quite regularly, similar posts. Private sale, keys in hand, ownership in hand. And again, you're buying from essentially a dealer who doesn't have a name. They're doing it as a business, but they hide behind private sales. So it's hard because you hear people, we get people all the time come in and they get burned, and we feel for them, but they think they're getting this great deal. They show up and it's all staged so nicely. It's very disarming, and they buy it and they find the major issue, right? So buying from a dealer.
I can think of a few names on Facebook.
Yeah, I know. I follow a lot of them just to kind of keep up. But buying from a dealer is more expensive, but you are not just buying the product. You're buying the back service. You're buying the ability to go back to somebody, the accountability. And accountability, when you're spending, $10, 15, 30, 50, $100,000, accountability is worth a lot. A lot. I know for me, it's important that we're accountable to our customers. But if I'm buying as a consumer, I like knowing that I can go back somewhere.
Yeah. I think so. I know most of our reviews are good, but there's a couple out there in the world that are not good.
Yep.
And what bothers me the most about them, and what hurts me in my heart, is that, do you really think that we're trying to scam you?
Yeah.
Do you really think that we're trying to give you a bad experience? Do you not know us? People who know you and me, and majority of our customers know, we want the best for them.
Yes.
So when somebody comes and they're like, they're scammers, it really hurts my feelings, because we're not. I'm really sitting there at work doing my best to make sure everyone's happy all the time.
Yes.
So I think that's what that's frustrating to me to see. Those comments hurt my heart.
So there's certain people do have this when they put a lot of negativity out there, even though there's a lot of positivity behind the situation. It's choosing that the negative side of the feelings, even though everything was taken care of, is what I want to put out there. And going above and beyond doesn't matter because I was slighted for even the smallest amount of time. And that's just a choice that some people choose to live. And we can't stop them. We can't. And unfortunately, with reviews, I think we were at 80 or something reviews. But before you and I were together and doing what we're doing now, there's thousands of trailers that have been sold under the same name, the same phone number, same person. And there's only that many positives. Negative and angry voices are the loudest, and they come out quicker and more frequently. So I feel like the fact that we have so little negative reviews and actual experiences, it speaks volumes for the length of time doing business, that there isn't more experiences. because getting someone, you know, how many customers have left it? They're like, oh, you know, they take the picture, Mike's in it, or I'm in it, you know.
Yeah, I know. It's just.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Like reading those things
And I understand that things don't go perfect every time. Like sometimes something's wrong, but I know that we're all doing our best. You know, Mike and Alex in the shop are trying to fix it for them. You know, Alex goes and does these service calls
Oh yeah.
after
Yeah.
work.
After
And
hours, before work.
yeah, like they're
on the
working all the
weekend.
time,
Yeah.
round the
Yeah.
clock, and
It's
it's
a
like,
tough
is
go.
that not enough?
Sometimes
That's why it's just frustrating to me. Like I feel like we're literally giving everything
it's
into this
it's heart and
business.
soul into
Yeah.
it. And
But not just us, everybody on the team. Like
yes.
every single person there is putting their heart and soul into it. So it's almost like a protective thing. Like I'm mad for them.
Yes.
They probably don't care nor know
No,
the review exists.
No.
And it's just me thinking about it all day.
It's because the what we put in mentally, emotionally, and physically to the business, and have and continue to and will continue to, when those words come out, knowing exactly how things did go down.
Yeah.
It is what it is, though. You're never going to stop that.
Let's say people come here and we have the same trailer as another dealer.
Yep.
But they're marked down $2,000 less than us.
Yeah.
But our price is like the best price we can do.
Mm-hmm.
Why? What could cause the difference in price?
Mm-hmm. Difference in price can come there with certain volume dealers that build around high volume and minimal margin, offset with less employees and less fixed op costs. So fixed op being like the staff available to service the units. If, like, again, we could offer to sell trailers $2,000 cheaper if we let half the staff go, but we can't service, we can't keep up. We would sell more trailers. We'd end up selling more trailers, but it'd be unable to keep up with the service of it. We would be constantly in a backlog of service. So Bob comes in and buys this trailer, and Bob and Phil. Phil's trailer is perfect, no issue. Bob's is littered with warranty issues, but we have so many other customers in that Bob can't get in for so long, and it then spans out past his warranty period, and it becomes an issue.
How come some dealerships won't accept trailers for warranty that were not sold at their place, even though technically they were required to?
So it's a tough thing. So, if you're selling the same brand as another dealer, so if you're selling a brand, so Bob's dealership, okay, we'll just talk generic.
It's always Bob.
Whatever. Okay, how about Allie's dealership?
Or Keith's.
Sure. So a dealership is selling a product, another dealership is selling this exact same thing. This dealer over here is $2,000 less. $2,000 less. The customer lives here, right next to this dealership, but it's $2,000 less. This dealer, based on its formula for how it runs and is able to service, can't afford to bring the price down to that point. It just doesn't make sense, because with the operating costs of being able to service and be available as a priority to each customer that's there, he decides to buy out here. Now, this dealer says, oh, it's fine, you have a dealer closer to you, he'll service it. So it now gets the sale, doesn't have to have the staff to support quick turnaround times for service, and is using the dealer agreement to say that this dealer here will service it. Now, this dealer doing warranty work essentially will be losing money. And warranty work 9.5 times out of 10 is a loss for the dealership, as you know.
Yeah.
They don't pay enough to cover the time that it takes to do the jobs. They decline a lot of the work that ends up having to be done to the end user. When you buy from the servicing dealers, so you bought over here and they're not servicing, if you bought here, there's a profit buffer that offsets for the dealer that ends up doing the service work. And that profit buffer does get eaten into, because you see how much we get declined or not paid enough. A job takes us 3 hours, they give us 45 minutes. And that's 3 hours of lost revenue time, lost retail time that we've lost. So the numbers end up astronomical of how much it can be lost when you're fighting for warranty claims for each individual. Now, if they show up from another dealer that they went to save $2,000 from, it's very hard to turn people away. And we don't.
I mean, we don't.
We don't.
We always say that we take the people who bought at our dealership first, but that never ends up happening. We just end up taking everybody.
Priority would always be to someone from us, always, and that's a result of them buying into the culture here.
Yeah, the people who buy from us are like first in
number
line,
one every time.
But we're not turning others away.
No, I know that there is, on big jobs that end up, we know will be a loss. It is a conversation of speak to your selling dealer. Let them know we're doing the service. We're billing you retail, and you'll have to recover the funds from the selling dealer. But we will get you in immediately, because that's when a family comes in and they're having, trip interrupting problems, bleeding heart. Like I gotta help them. Like, how do we help these people? Like, can Alex stay late, or can someone be here can we get this done, or am I going to get the tools out? Well, that's.
Am I going to get the tools out before you?
I'm a licensed gas technician. I'm a technician.
How to get the tools out before you?
Okay, so but in those instances, it's get the customer taken care of, because they're here. We empathize with their situation. It is hard when, for us specifically, is if we know they were here, they looked at our unit, but they bought elsewhere and then are using us for service. That is a very hard one, because they know that we're empathetic of their situation, and
But I don't know if that's the reason why. It might just be easier for them and more convenient.
Of course, that's why you buy local, because easy and convenient at a dealer that will stick by the unit you've bought and make you a priority and get you in, is why you would buy local, and why it might be a little more expensive. And it's the value it's the value in that purchase. Because, I mean, if you really look, you can go to the States and buy trailers at a really good price point if you do the process of importing. But then who's your selling dealer? Who's your servicing dealer? Who's doing the warranty? So if you're just out straight bargain shopping and you're comfortable doing work on the trailer yourself, you know what? Saving $2,000 is $2,000. It is what it is. But I know that 9 out of 10 consumers buying our trailers, or any trailer for that matter, require skilled assistance and skilled maintenance, and that's what we offer. And that's what other dealers, like, I know not just us necessarily, but there are other dealers that are in that same boat of competing against a larger wholesaling like environment. And it really comes down to what the consumer wants. Do they want to save a few percent, like very small percentage of money, or do they want to have comfortable customer service consistently?
Why are you laughing?
Yeah, it's just funny. I like this. This is fun. It's like a little table talk.
You're just talking for like hours on end.
Okay, I got a question for you.
Wait, hold on. I'm laughing at the team chat. Go ahead.
So, what would you say so this is a personal thing, what would you say sets our dealership apart from everyone else?
Well, I don't know everybody else. I don't really know.
Okay, so I'll rephrase the question then. What would you say makes us unique? Not comparing to anyone else. What makes us and what we do unique?
I think we've got this like really unique team. Mm-hmm. There's 15 of us. I guess technically 14 of us.
Didn't we just hire someone today?
15 of us. And everyone who has come to work here has come and found their way organically.
Yes.
And it just works. Like, everyone is a true family, and everyone's always helping each other out. Everybody always wants the best for each other. There's no drama. We all enjoy each other's company. We all have fun at work.
Yep.
And I think a lot of people love to come to work, and that's at least what I hope. Mm. And I think that's different. Like, when we had the RV course here,
yes,
and there was a lot of people doing their courses saying that this place seems like such a fun place to work.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
So you think to end, like, so culture as a base and foundation of like closeness. Mm-hmm. I think I agree with that. I think that's a big factor in us. And like, obviously I know the other dealers, and I see a lot more of it because I'm out doing what I do, and I do see the same thing you see, and it's like us and what we're doing is a direct relation to having extremely good people.
Yeah.
That
When we're planning our events and we're trying to come up with a plan, even if it's a marketing strategy or we're trying to, do a sale on a certain set of units, everybody has an opinion and everyone has great ideas.
yes,
We can ask everyone, what do you think? Or what about this option? Or what about this idea? And they give their honest opinion.
Yeah.
And we try a lot of the things that people are suggesting. People come to us with an idea like, hey, let's do a podcast. And we don't just shut it down immediately. Well,
no, okay. So in all fairness, it immediately was like a no for me, and then it just spun around in my head, and I started speaking to Siri, like ideas for this. I was like, I think this is good. I think this is good, and there's a lot of ideas that I think will go with this.
And maybe it's not good, but either way, we're giving it a shot.
Yep.
And I think that's one of the biggest things is we're willing to try anything.
Yep.
And willing to do whatever to create this attractive business,
Mm-hmm.
that a place that people want to come and shop, a place where people come and they see Mike and they know Mike from Facebook and they know Alex, like everybody loves Alex, and Chelsea at the front.
Yeah.
And
I think this being as fresh as it is, I think that we'll need ideas to maintain this, and people who do follow us and see our stuff. If you've got ideas of things you want discussed, we're more than happy to take any suggestions, anything, because I think that, we're just kind of spitballing stuff here. These are ideas floating around my head, your head. If we get people who want to know stuff, specifically, maybe our takes on things or what we feel that is going on in the market, we will answer anything.
I think education is a big piece to that.
Yeah.
Like the winterization video that I did, a lot of people loved it, saved it, and I hope are using it to winterize their trailers. And I think if we could do more of that,
like tutorial content.
Yeah, small educational content, how to do a quick reseal if you notice some of your sealant is off. I mean, I don't know any of the technical stuff that's involved in maintaining a trailer, but it would be a great opportunity for someone like me who does know nothing, for Alex to show me how to do a couple basic maintenance things and show people that if I can do it, you can do it. And this is a key part of RV ownership, is maintaining and resealing and inspecting your unit frequently and showing them how to do that helps make it easier for them.
We could definitely do that over this winter, like a unit that's in the shop, just some pointers, some tips, like how to the different roof types, the different roof material, because you've got TPO or you've got EPDM. The rubber requires a coating after so many years, where TPO does not. So there's the pros and cons of those. Things like making sure that your slide out's swept off. You could just go up and do that. You good on a roof?
No.
We have the safety ladder though.
I just don't like getting on the ladder.
Does it move around a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll do it, but I'll do it for the video, but I don't like it.
You do it for the gram?
I would. I like doing the RV tours.
I know. Yeah, a lot of people.
In the winter, it's going to be hard. Like even today, it was cold, and I really didn't want to go outside, but we did it.
We have the shop. We have the shop.
Well, that's what I said. I went into the shop today, and I said to Mike, "Okay, which of these can I do a tour of?" He's like, "These are all sold. These are all retail service work."
Yeah.
So.
That's fun. I mean, wintertime, I guess we just have to do more podcasts. It's warm inside.
We'll bring some in.
Yeah.
Because we do show trailers in the shop. Like, we do shop showings.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
We'll bring some units in. Are we going to do an RV show this January, our own in-house, or no?
We are. Yeah. So we're doing, we haven't set the date, but it'll be January. So in January, we will be doing an in-house RV show.
Let's pick the date now.
You want to do it now?
Yeah. So January.
Well, listen, this is RV Rendezvous.
Thanks for watching RV Rendezvous.
Yeah. And we hope to see you soon.
Go ahead.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for checking out RV Rendezvous.
We'll be back.
We'll be back. Happy travels.